butchered.
Joseph Bommarito.
See, I would have butchered.
And he played at Best in Tabletop GT.
Oh, it was a North Star Open.
Oh yeah, so that was his team.
It was
North Star Open.
Yep, and that was his team.
And he plays fifth, so a very good showing.
Yeah, excellent showing again. He didn't end up getting hundreds. It's okay though. You don't gotta get hundreds and play perfectly. We were just wanted to really accentuate how amazing that was. Obviously, Scott was an amazing player. Joseph is still an excellent player, getting fifth place at the GP, and he's being epic. So here we have Captain Badrug. Oh, actually, you read it. Why am I jumping?
Yeah, you got Captain Badrug, Mazrog, Beast Boss on Squigosaur with Head Wappa's Kill Chopper.
Head Wappa Chopper. Hold on, before you continue. Comments in the video later. You're watching this. Tell me, Beast Boss on Squigosaur with Ed Wappa's Kill Chopper, or is your now down Smash a Squig getting Ed Wappa's Kill Chopper? I understand the arguments for both. You're not going to convince me one or the other. I just want to hear your opinion because both are applicable, both are applicable, both are good. I just want to hear a consensus. Maybe we'll put out a community vote for it as well, just to make it fun. But when I say this in Discord, everybody starts just going at it. So I just want to do another one right now. Shout out. All right, David, continue. Sorry.
You got 3 units of Beast Snagga Boys, 10-man Flash Kits.
Nice and clean. 3 Gretchens. Yep. Okay, so some people have been pulling back. Some people have been pulling back on the Gretchen to like single units of Gretchen. I can say I'm a little guilty of that. I don't know what we stick 3 on. I just stick the single ones on. But looking at the games these last weekends, I've noticed people are still covering up the board. 10-man units, good OC. Can't resist that, and the CPU.
And he brought 2 5-man twin Killsaw Meganauts.
I appreciate that. That's enough. Joseph coming out here with a thickness, man. And if you keep that in mind, he doesn't have any character support, guys. He just brought him like that. He just was like, hey, they're gonna come at you. On the wall, I'm trying to deliver devastating wounds. Don't need a character for them. Don't care, not playing the premium. Because the War Boss and Mega Armor type characters are at a bit of a premium, guys, right? You're paying 100 points or 115 points, then an enhancement if you choose to, compared to something like a War Boss that's 70 points, right? A Beast Boss, 80 points, right? So the difference, if you decide to just cut one, can push you into a different whole unit type category, which he chose to. And I can see why, since he got more expensive with these Squig Hog boys.
2 6-man units.
2 6-man units, right? Mind you, he does not have the knob on Smash Squig, right? He doesn't have the Sergeant. So this is the complete opposite. That's why we like to show these lists, guys, so you can just kind of get your own flavor. We're never going to tell you exactly who's wrong and who's right. We're showing you how they did, we're showing you their perform. We'll show you their matchups, and you decide how you want to imitate that as well based off your local matchup, right? As for me, I'm going to crump everything and everybody the way I want. All right, so let's look at his...
rounds out with 2 trucks.
Oh, yeah, rounds out with 2 trucks. So now, guys, not that many trucks these last 2 performing GT lists. They went for more units, not as many truck spamming. Of course, we've seen a battle wagon, but we're not seeing 6 trucks finally, right? First time we've been showing off these lists, and they're not spamming at least 3 trucks. I mean, even my last game last week was 3 trucks. So, 4 trucks. Yeah, nice to see a few less trucks on the list. Now let's look at his matchups.
All right, round 1 against Dark Angel.
Well, I gotta say it like more kind of round 1.
All right, this list brought Ezreal, Librarian and Phobos Armor.
Okay, let's go.
Lieutenant, a Primaris Apothecary.
I love beating up space. I love beating.
Attack Bike Squad, Desolation Squad. Still see people taking them.
No, they don't know how to not take those. Okay.
Eliminator Squad, 3-man.
Lancer Gladiator making its comeback like always.
A Hellblaster.
Ooh, a big Hellblaster.
10-man.
Goodness. Okay, I can appreciate that. Shout out to you when you're blowing yourself up.
1 unit Inceptors.
Oh, those Inceptors, guys. Inceptors, guys. You guys shout out your comments how you're dealing with Inceptors and such, right? Inceptors can be an issue when you want to run forward with your army and beat everybody up. And these guys can come in with some 3 inches great firepower. So shout out to how you do it, but I can see these guys have their plasmas on.
And he's got 1 Incursor Squad, 1 Infiltrator Squad.
Okay. Another 1 Invader ATV.
Invader ATV. Ravenwing Dark Shroud. And a Redemptor Dreadnought.
All right. That's what's up. So that's how he did. And how did his score into this guy? He got a 92 going into Derek Math. So like you guys, we're just going to show you the list. That's what the point of this is, guys, right? We're not trying to hold you here and talk it out with our primitive ideas. We don't know how the game was played exactly, but we like to show matchups so we know context matters on how people. You can get a general idea once you go over an enemy's list. Okay.
All right. Round 2 versus Necrons.
Okay. Let's go.
3 Hexmax Destroyers.
I love killing Necrons. That's all right.
A Lord, Overlord, 2 Technomancers.
He's just bringing all characters, I guess.
Transcendent Catan. Canatech Reanimator, 2 units of Crypto Thralls, Death Marks, 3 units of 3 Heavy Destroyers, 2 units of 10 Lynch Guard, and a 3-man Tomb Blade unit.
He's gonna have like 8 characters on his list, just saying. How many normal units do you have? Do you even have enough units for all these characters? I'm joking, guys. I understand what's happening. I can just see this not having a lot of enough board presence to really threaten the Orks to stop them from scoring. But it was enough of a threat with the Lich Guard being able to stand an objective and such, and not be able to just get to place that Joseph still only scored 80 points against his Necron, right? You can assume why based off the weird kind of thick units of Lich Guard and the Crypto Thralls.
Right. This guy's preparing more for a gunline army with these hex marks. They can shoot you anytime you shoot a unit by them.
Yeah, but Joseph still pulled it off. Great job, Joseph. Going into his third matchup.
In round 3, we got Necron.
Again. Okay. So,
this time,
hey, as we pointed out, sorry to interrupt you. As we pointed out in the stats earlier, in 40K stats, the most popular army we played up against is Necron. Last week, very similar, Necron. The week before that, Necron. If we pull up like the last 3 or 4 weeks, Necrons are going to be at least one of the top 3 most played factions against us and most played factions in 40K as a whole. So pay attention to what Necron players are doing, as you're most likely going to have to crump one on your way up through an RTT or local game sometime.
All right, and this list is spamming some Katans.
Let's go. That's always a strategy.
We got the Deceiver, the Nightbringer, the Void Dragon, a Hexmark Destroyer, a Lord.
Let's go.
Orc and the Diviner.
Orc and the Diviner.
Overlord.
I didn't say that right. See, I'm illiterate. All right.
Oh, the 4th Catan with the Transcendent.
Okay, guy, calm down, man. No, I was kidding.
I like the first time we see this.
The fact, I know they really have, but the fact that they get enhanced, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, what? What do you mean an enhancement on an immortal being thing? All right, and what else was on the list? You're about to just give up on their list. They had other stuff. Yeah. All right, Necron Warrior, a blob of warriors. Okay.
2 units of Crypto Thralls and
they barely had other stuff.
Yeah, barely.
They barely had other stuff, guys. I didn't even mean to say that. That was funny.
Yeah.
I'm making fun of Necron players, but all right. So yeah, so how do you do against this? Was it this 4th matchup?
This is round 4.
Yeah, and this is one of his lower scoring games with 76. Oh no, it was the 3rd or 4th?
Round 3.
Oh, it was 3rd. Okay, sorry. So actually, I lied. 92 points. Because I was like, dang, how did he score nothing? No, he got crumped on. He got 92 points against that Necron player.
That's what we like to see.
With his 21 characters and his 3 actual battle line units. So yes, another one. So let's move on to number 4 with Joshua Solo. Guys, you always know that Orks, even though we're falling somewhere between C tier and B tier, and we kind of fluctuate based off who's doing the stats and who they're including and who they're not. Just playing the mission overall well, optimizing your movement phase, and just not getting horribly bad matchups, you can do very well. RTTs and even GTs do relatively. Don't be scared to play Orks just because people talk down about them or the units that you want to play, because you see units creeping in all the time into the meta that other people are like, that's a C tier unit. Let's continue.
All right, round 4, Aldari. Not surprised once you get to the higher tables, you're going to face an army like this.
Especially because they're being spammed at tournaments right now. They really want to win. They've been getting beat up for 2 editions straight, and nobody felt bad for them, so they don't feel bad doing it to us now.
Yeah, this list got the Wayleaper, the Avatar Kane, Farseer.
I like the Avatar King, guys, as a model. I mean, even though scrawny beakies are annoying, scrawny gets over here. Scrawnies have a cool little god like that sometimes, all right?
Farseer, Skyrunner, Spirit Seer, some Storm Guardians, 3 Fire Prisms.
Of course.
Shroud Runners, 2 support weapons, 2 Warp Spider units, the Wraith God.
Okay, very typical. Only 1 new Wraith Guard unit. So you can see that's how he did. But this was his 4th matchup.
This is his 4th game.
And Joseph pulled it out actually, and actually ended up winning with a 76 score, guys, into Eldar with Fire Prisms, with the Wraith Guard, with everything that you would be worried about overall, right? The difference with the Avatar of Kane, I don't really see him all the time. But whatever. Still a really good list. Great job by Joseph. Now we go into his final matchup. And this is where he finally dropped the game. It was a good game, but he did drop it to Tyranids. I think Tyranids are a pretty good army. It just comes down to the mission they end up rolling, and they really do care about like how the missions deployed as well as the secondaries if they're not spamming the little mines. Let's see what he had here.
Yeah, he brought a Nero Tyrant.
Only 1 character.
Gargoyles.
Okay, I like gargoyles. Overall.
2 units of Barbgonts.
Yep, no brainer. So cheap, effective against infantry.
2 units
the Biowars for the secondary scoring. I see double Execranes all over the place. Is this double Maleceptor? Yep, double Maleceptor all over the place. These guys have -1 to hit, guys, if you haven't played against Maleceptors. So they have great shooting, that's 3 damage, and they actually fight, that's 3 damage. They have a 4-up invuln. They can, Tyranids can always pop 2 Feel No Pain of a 5-up Feel No Pain 2 times in a row. And then the Maleceptor has an innate -1 to hit aura and melee. You're trying to target units with them. So this is actually a hard matchup for Orks. In general, it can be, because when you want to go and deliver your matchup, your meta, like we've seen he brought on this in this list, on Joseph's list, he has 2 units of Mega Knobs that have no character support, so they're not getting -1 to hit. That means when they run into the Maleceptor or anything near the Maleceptor, they're going to be hitting on 5s, right? So imagine the Mega Knobs hitting on 5s, something you really want to deliver. On top of the fact that the Maleceptor has a 4-up invuln, so most Tyranid monsters don't have an invuln, so you're actually going to appreciate the kill saws. Maleceptor has a 4-up invuln, so you're going into a -1 to hit, 4-up invuln, 4-up Feel No Pain. So if I can guess what was kind of a factor here was the fact that he could take over 2 sides of the table with these big Maleceptor bricks and really bother people. So it was a good game, but he ended up winning out to that.
3 Molochs.
And 3 Molochs. Molochs, I like them, guys. Overall, against the Tyranid player for the most part, you can get them where you want them, and you can decide I'm going to run up the table or try to like deep strike. And we know deep strike is everywhere in the game now, guys. We as Orc players don't consider it as much because we have so much stuff that can go everywhere and we have great chance for it. But for everybody else, they're constantly just thinking about what can I app for rapid ingress? What can I app for rapid ingress? What can I wrap? Like everybody else in the game is thinking about rapid ingressing or just straight up deep strike in general. And that's another thing.
Right, and we got Psycho Sage, Venom Thropes.
I don't love it, but I mean it did its thing, I guess. And then 2 big units. Yeah. This is one of the units that I think having Flash Kits helps into as you can. Didn't help Joseph in this matchup, but I think it was more because of the Maleceptor. Because if you're gonna bring 2 units of Squig Hog Boys, 2 units of Mega Knobs, as Joseph did, and then 2 Maleceptors are on the battlefield, they're making all those things -1 to hit. That means your Squig Hog mounts are hitting on 5s, Mega Knobs hitting on 5s, and you lack all the characters, give you +1 hit.
Is that an aura?
Yeah, it's an aura.
Okay, so it affects Flash Kits too?
Yep. No, it's for melee only.
Oh, for melee only.
Yeah. So that's his big hitting units.
Right.
And the fact that they get a Feel No Pain, so you just bounce off. It happened to me before, guys. I underestimated how great that was, and it actually happened to me. So yeah, that's how Joseph did. Great job by Joseph. Still got 5th place. Still repping for Orcs as a whole, keeping us relevant, bringing a nice fun list that was still killy and punchy. He brought a lot of Mega Knobs to the game, but he didn't bring a bunch of characters to overcommit on them. And he brought a bunch of Squig Hog Boys, but he didn't bring a bunch of characters to overcommit on them. Points that he did put for characters were only to benefit the Flash Kits, and the other guys were playing off on themselves, just being durable, punchy units.